fight here at center. It's Dillon Boucher going up against Roman Schmidt. Boucher connects with a right to start things off. He dodges a few hooks from Schmidt. Tries to connect with Boucher, got all shoulder pads. Now Boucher connects with 2-3 consecutive haymakers, and he slams Schmidt down. Dillon Boucher giving up quite a bit of height. He's 6 foot. Roman Schmidt, 6'5", but Dillon Boucher gets the better of that exchange.
Now Turcotte injured Boucher about 2 months ago and kept the Rockford forward out for about 3 weeks. Now Boucher seeks revenge. They engage in center logo. Boucher giving up a couple inches. Boucher, quick left-hand jab. Turcotte misses over top to the right. Swinging around and Turcotte shakes off the elbow guard. Turcotte's off balance right in front of the Chicago bench. Boucher wraps him up. Oh, he's got him in a tough position. Away with a left. Boucher loses his lid. Countering back. Turcotte got some good jabs in there. They're tying up. Boucher wants to keep going. Bleeding with the line to let him continue.
Hey everybody, this is Tanner and Thomas Gallant from Maritime Hockey. Today we are joined by Nova Scotia native who is just coming off of a contract deal with the Chicago Blackhawks, which was a 1-year, 2-way contract. Dillon Boucher. Dillon, how you doing today, and how's your summer been going?
I'm doing good today. The weather is finally coming around in Halifax, so I can't complain. Summer's been good. It's been busy. Just been trying to stay on the ice and train, but no, it's flying by, so just looking forward to the tail end of it.
Yeah, so when do you head out anyway?
Training camp, I believe, starts September 13th, so I'll probably head out a couple weeks early. But
Okay.
I don't have like a set date right now, but probably sometime in August.
Yeah.
And it's a little earlier this year too, which makes it more difficult.
Yeah, so I think they shortened all the training camps, which
Mhm.
kind of threw a wrench in things, but it should be good.
Yeah, and on July 1st, like I noted, you signed the contract with the Blackhawks. It was a 1-year, 2-way. Can you take us how that day unfolded for you?
Yeah, I'll tell the story again. I'm going to get razzed by my buddies, but so I'm building a couple of decks at my mom's house, and I was building a deck, and my GM called me, and he just he was like, "You got a minute?" And I was like, "Yeah, no problem." And usually when you get a call from the GM in the summer, you don't really know what's going on. So I was kind of in panic mode, but I didn't really want to like jump to any conclusions. But so he's like, "Just 1 second, I got to get your agent on the line too." And then the agent jumped on. He goes, "So I'm sorry to tell you about, like, we have to terminate your contract." And I was like, "Oh," like kind of speech. I was like, "I don't know." Okay. I didn't know, like, all right. And he's like, "Because the Blackhawks want to sign it." And I was like, "Wow, okay, you could have started with that," but no, it was good. And I think he made a plan before he met with my agent and just told him he was gonna screw with me a little bit, but definitely worked. I didn't have any idea what was going on, but it was a cool day. And then I went back inside and I got to tell everyone that I signed my first NHL deal. So
Yeah, because I think it was January you just did your extension with Rockford, I think it was. So I know you
yeah,
had it prepared, but I know when you go into free agency in the summer and all, it's like you never know what's going to happen. It's all a
yeah,
business, right?
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
um, so what was your kind of like, I guess from your buddies and all, what was kind of the reaction? It must have been pretty much a lot of excitement going around.
Oh yeah. Well, so I originally, like, I was like, okay, great. And then he was like, I'm going to I'll call your agent. We'll get it all figured out. And then we'll start sending papers over. So everything's virtual now. So I didn't have to sign anything. It was just like all online, but I didn't know. So I went back outside and then my phone died and everyone was trying to get a hold of me to sign these papers. And I was just sitting by the fire. And then I kind of came inside at 10 o'clock and I had a bunch of missed messages and they were like, "You got to get this stuff done. Like, we need to release it to the public." I was like, "Oh, geez." So then I was on my laptop scrambling, trying to get it done. And then I signed it. And then I was in the shower and I saw my phone go off. And it was one of my buddy's friends from Chicago. And he was like, "Congrats." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, I just saw you signed." I was like, "Oh my god!" So they were literally waiting for me to sign it, and then probably within 20 minutes after I signed it, they released it, and then my phone started blowing up pretty good. So
They had the post already. They just had to press the button.
yeah, yeah.
So
What was there anyone that you got a message from that you're like, oh wow, like that's a kind of shocked you and surprised you?
Not overly. Like I got a pretty close friend group, so a lot of those guys reached out. I mean, there was people that I used to play with that obviously reached out that I haven't heard from in a while, which was nice. But nobody like out of the ordinary would have texted me. But no, it was
Right.
definitely there was a lot of support, which is super cool.
Yeah. So last year you made the jump to the AHL with Rockford IceHogs and you became a fan favorite right away. What was the key to such a smooth transition into the AHL?
Honestly, like I had full intentions of not playing in the AHL last year. Like I was going there, I was on a two-way East Coast AHL deal, so I didn't really know if I was going to stick up there. So I was just kind of going in training camp, kind of just to see what it was like. But my GM gave me the housing letter in the first week, so that was a good sign. And then he was just kind of like, play your game. You know, I brought you here for a reason. I brought you here because I watched you play, and I know you're tough. So it was kind of just like the pace was quicker, and the passing and stuff is a little more crisper. But I didn't really have to change much out of my game, which was nice because I've always played that style. So transition wasn't terrible, but um, yeah, it was. They made like the fans really brought me in, and the GM and the coach were super good to me. So it made everything a lot easier.
yeah, you kind of
Yeah, it
had
seems
success right away too, right? Like you
yeah.
had that.
Yeah,
What was like your second game? You had like your first goal, 3 points or something like that. Like it was.
yeah. Well,
It didn't
I had
take
a point per
long.
game, and then I had a one punch knockout, and I was like, damn, I'm kind of in it now. Like, but and then I got injured my fourth game in, which kind of sucked, but it
Yeah.
happened. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, last season you guys had four players with over 100 penalty minutes. I think you had 114. You guys were a tough group to play against. How much fun is it playing in front of the fans in Rockford? Because they really enjoy that blue collar mentality.
yeah, they do. It's obviously like it's a special place to play when you're playing that way. Luckily, like when the GM called me last year, he was referencing playoffs last year. They played Milwaukee and they were getting kind of pushed around. And he was like, I don't want that to happen ever again. So he signed me. He had Milmock there, which is one of the guys I played with, and then we had two other D that were kind of, they mix it up, and then so yeah, he was just like, I don't want to get pushed around anymore. So if you guys set the tone right away, like guys or like teams are gonna know like we're not gonna be messed with. And then yeah, the fans in Rockford, like when you drop the gloves, like they're going crazy, like they're coming over the glass, like they're congratulating you. I had a couple of good fights in Rockford this year, and people were like legit hanging over the glass, so it was
That
pretty
old
cool.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Was there a certain moment, like you mentioned the one punch KO and all, like was there a certain moment that was your favorite this past season? Like it's a big year for you.
Um, obviously, like the first goal was obviously a special one. It wasn't at home, but it was obviously nice to get it out of the way. And then obviously I had two other points that night, which I was kind of like, holy, I don't know what's going on here because I'm not a point getter. So 3 points in one game in the AHL was kind of like a big surprise to me. But I think the coolest moment this year was probably that fight with Bauer
Yeah.
in Rockford. Like the fans were going nuts, and everyone like they love when you drop the gloves. So I
Yeah.
think that one really sticks out for me for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even going through your career, even back to your junior days, you were always kind of a physical player. Was there a certain moment that you realized that you were going to have to be that type of guy, like have to drop the gloves? Like it's a big part of your game. So I know certain guys, they notice certain times that it's like, okay, I'm not going to make it by skill. Is it going to be physicality or is that always just kind of your mentality going in?
It was kind of always like I always played that way growing up. I remember it's actually a funny story. When I was in, I think it was novice. It's my first hit I ever remember. My aunt
Hmm.
told me like there was people skating around, and she was like, "Next time somebody comes around the net with their head down, like you should hammer them." And I was like, "Okay, perfect." So then somebody came around the net with their head down. I smoked them, and then they made me play goalie the rest of the game, and I was pretty cheesed about it. But no, I mean, from a young age, I knew that like the physicality part of my game was definitely something I excelled at. Like usually when I'm going to hit someone, if I'm going to spend all the energy to go get them, I'm going to try to put them through the boards with the puck or without the puck. But no, I think in junior, I think I had my first fight. It was against a Russian guy, and I had no idea I could fight. And I was like, okay, well, I might be like half decent at this, and I know if I keep playing this way, like I'm gonna definitely have to answer the bell like over and over again. So I think after that fight, I had 4 more in a row, and I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of getting the hang of this, so this is probably going to be my calling from now on. And I was never really like a super skill guy, so it wasn't like a hard transition to go from no points to no points, you know?
It's going to be tough now too with the fighting restrictions in the queue now and stuff. I don't know how they're going to learn on the fly.
I know it sucks for those young guys because I mean it's basically like when they took hitting out of Pee Wee hockey, and then you got kids going into Bantam hockey, they don't know how to hit, and then there's kids way up here and there's kids way down here, and they don't know how to protect themselves. But it's gonna suck for those guys like trying to transition into pro, trying to get their feet wet, and then all of a sudden you're fighting a guy that had 100 fights in the queue versus 3 fights and you're getting suspended. So
yeah, exactly.
Was there ever a guy that you've had a fight in your career? Let's go career that you're like, holy crap, this guy's like scary. Or like,
Garrett Klotz, he was in Rapid City.
Yeah,
I got drafted in 06 to the Flyers, and he's like 6'6", 260 or something. And he looks like a Greek god. And I remember like Kelly Bent's the first guy I saw fight him because he was telling I was in Wichita with him. And he was like, man, I don't want Klotzy tonight. Like, you're going to have to get him. I'm like, I don't want him either. Like, this guy is huge. But I didn't end up fighting him that night, but I fought him the next year. And then I fought him the year after, which was like 2 pretty good fights, but he's in a different weight class. Like, he's huge.
So is
Kelly's
there like
not that big either.
No.
Go ahead.
But so speaking of Kelly Bent, you guys played together in Dalhousie, right?
Yep.
So it's funny because they're not really it wasn't on social media much at all, but like you're one of the handful of players to go from youth sports to sign an NHL deal. You spent 5 years with at Dalhousie University, which isn't a big hockey market. But what can you take away as a player in your time with the Tigers, and how important was it in your career to play for them?
I think it was probably one of the most important parts of my career. When I finished junior, I actually had no idea where I was going to play, and I was just kind of scrambling. Like I was like, okay, well maybe this is it because I'm 20. Well, I aged out of junior, and I was like, I don't have any schools calling me. I don't really want to go to Ontario or like go west to go to school, and I hate school too. Like I was just like, maybe I should just start working. All my buddies were working. I'm like, maybe I should just hang up the skates and start working. And then Chris Donnelly called me. I've known Chris for a long time. Like he used to coach me when I was in Adam. And he was like, Boosh, like, what are you doing next year? And I was like, I have no plans. And he was like, well, why don't you come out for dinner and we can talk about you coming to Dal. So I went out to dinner with him and Brad Crosby, actually. And we had a good dinner. And then he was kind of the reason I kept playing. And then I think in my 3rd year at Dal, like we couldn't win a game at Dal. Like we were bottom of the pack. And it gets frustrating when you can't win.
Yeah.
So I was pretty done with it again. And then I just kind of stuck with it. But I think being at Dal and like being around, we had a tight, even though we weren't winning, we had a tight group.
Yeah.
Which is like when you're playing, it's one of the most important things. Like I was like, well, I can stop playing and then kind of leave this group, but then I'll definitely miss the locker room stuff. I'll miss like hanging out with all these guys. So I think Dal was honestly one of the most important parts of my career, and I'm super grateful. They let me come back and work out with them every summer, and they treat me very good. So I can't say enough good stuff about Dal.
Yeah, Kelly.
Is there a group of guys that you work with in the summertime?
Like skate with?
Yeah.
There's a ton of guys that play hockey in Halifax, like pro, like in Europe and stuff. So we have Andrew Gordon runs all our skates.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that name, but he runs all our skates in the city at Dal. So I mean, it's been a good summer. We usually get a good turnout. he's got 2 or 3 groups. So it's definitely it's nice to have options where you want to skate, which is kind of what we have here.
Right.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, Kelly spoke really highly of Dal as well. So it's good. It's good to hear that, even though they have a tight knit group and just the schooling is really great there. So,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
so
Well,
looking
hey, listen,
forward,
the UNB guys, the UNB's always at the top, but how many guys go from playing there, go to get an NHL deal? Not very many.
yeah, yeah,
You got
true.
that on them. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a couple U Sports championships on me, but I guess I do have that over their
yeah.
Looking ahead this fall, what is your biggest focus going into training camp with the Blackhawks?
head. I would say just playing my own game, like knowing my identity, which I think I know by now. If I can't figure it out by now, there's probably no hope for me. But I think I'm going to be going into camp. I mean, I'm not taking anything for granted for sure, but I'm not. I don't want to over. Um, I guess I don't want to. I want to have like too high of expectations there because I mean I know they have a pretty big roster already, so
Yeah.
I'm just kind of going in with an open mind, and whatever happens, happens. And I know if I get sent down to Rockford, we get a good group there, and I'm excited to play there again this year.
Yeah. I know it's tough too with the Blackhawks kind of in rebuild mode, and they have a lot of good young guys too. It's definitely
Yeah.
tough to find a spot.
Yeah, so other than that, I think that was all we had currently, unless Thomas, did you have anything else to ask
No,
before?
no, that's everything I have for questions.
Well, Dylan, we won't hold up too much of your time, but we do appreciate you taking a few minutes to, like, I know summers are busy too, so I know you're not playing,
Yeah.
but
No.
you're still training, getting ready, so.
Yeah.
But no, we appreciate you taking the time, and we hope that the best for you going training camp, and hopefully if you don't make it out of to the Blackhawks, hopefully we'll see you in Rockford.
Yeah. Absolutely.